Okay, so today we're off to Dublin on our annual pub crawl. 20 or 30 years ago we started this tradition, or has developed into a tradition, of taking the bus to Dublin and going to the pub, and we spend most of the day in the pub or in a number of pubs. So it originally started out as a pub crawl, but as you get older you're less capable of crawling from pub to pub and more likely to crawl out of a pub. But we generally go to, have to feed these birds before I go, we generally go to get the bus to Dublin from Broadford here, and we get off at the quays. We go down to a bar there in Middle Abbey Street called the Oval. It's right beside the entrance to Easton's from Middle Abbey Street, and we spend most of the day there. And we might go to some other pub. Today we have a voucher, I think, for the Shelbourne Hotel or someplace, so we'll probably go up there. And then by the evening time we'll have drunk our fill. We'll have engaged in a lot of conversation and so on, and we'll get the bus then from the other side of the quays back home after we've had some food. So that's become an annual sort of a thing now for us. It started off at Christmas, but now we do it 2 or 3 times a year. We basically get the bus to Dublin and we spend the day in the pub or in a number of pubs, get the bus home. It's good clean fun, and it's nice to blow off a bit of steam, I suppose, and it's good as well from a health perspective, mental health perspective, to actually spend a good bit of time sitting in a pub or in a hotel or wherever with your partner or your spouse or your loved one, and you have no choice but to converse, have a conversation, share what's going on in your life, what's going on in your world and so on with the other person. And if you are in a pub for a day, it's inevitable, if you have a rule that you're not going to be messing around with your mobile phone or whatever, it's inevitable that you're going to actually have a good heart-to-heart discussion and ruminate over and toss over and turn over everything that's going on in your life. So I find it very useful, very, very beneficial from that perspective. And God, there's a big robin there after just coming down. Let me see, can we get him on the camera? There he is there, look. Big robin. I'd say the poor bastard's starving. I'd say they're really starving, but I'm going to feed them now before I go. But there he is under the car. Under the car. See, all the birds are starving at the moment because of the cold and so on. But anyway, I was just saying, I find it beneficial and useful from a health perspective, from a mental health perspective, to do it, and I think my wife does as well. We're married a long time, married in 1990, so we're together a long time, and it's still good though to always sit down and actually have a conversation. And with TV nowadays and social media and work and one thing and another, it can be very, very easy to actually spend lives living together but not really engaging. So anyway, it's, I think, the 10th of December. It's absolutely beautiful morning, very, very cold, very frosty, but that's what it's like here. In fact, I've just been out for a run there this morning, and it was very enjoyable, I must say, even though it's very, very cold. Here's a bird here, look, sitting on the feeder just behind me. If I think I can zoom in there. Can't zoom in. Jeez, I thought I could. Anyway, the bird's obviously starving. I'm going to feed the birds now in a minute. So we'll see. God, look at that bird. They're everywhere. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to feed the birds now, and later on then we'll have a look at, we'll get the bus obviously to Dublin, we'll get the Cairns bus from Ballinasrimland. heading up to the Shelbourne. We have a voucher there from a few years ago, from Christmas. One of the kids gave us a voucher, so we're going up to the Shelbourne Hotel for a couple of pints and maybe a bite to eat, hopefully. Good old buzz around Grafton Street here now. Obviously we're getting close to the Christmas, but there's a good atmosphere and so on. Plenty of buskers and that.
No, you said she said.
Get angry at us.
So this is the Shelbourne Hotel, and unfortunately there's a queue to get into the bar. And there's no bloody way I am queuing today to get into a bar anywhere. So we're going to have to bail on the Shelbourne idea and hold on to the voucher. It's an interesting bookshop there I'm looking at. You've got first editions there. Look, you've got Sense and Sensibility. That might be a first edition. We've got John Fowles on the French and Trans Woman, described by the author. It's the first edition from 1969. Old Man in the Sea, The Grapes of Wrath. I'd be interested now what Jesus is, The Naked and the Dead, Norman Mailer, first edition, 1948. Those books now are collectibles. I'd be interested in having a look at those. No room in any of those pubs now we've called to, including the Palace Bar and the Shelbourne. No, the Palace Bar wasn't too bad, but there's no grub. We need food at this stage, so we're heading back to the Oval at the moment. Santa, yeah, that's right, yeah.
I said, yeah, we know that. I said, I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah. Sure, there's some sort of function. I feel this. What's that car right? We're along the quays now, we're waiting for the bus. We're waiting for the Cairns bus to bring us home. so hopefully it's going to stop along here somewhere. I'm always reminded though of the Tom Waits album, the Heart of Saturday Night, when I'm along the quays here, and it happens quite often that we're on the quays here on the Saturday night looking for the bus home. The bus home for us is the goal, is the key, is the silver bullet, not the Heart of Saturday Night. We're happy enough we've found the Heart of Saturday Night, but the key is the bus from Dublin, which is going to bring us home. So that's it, Saturday night. It's been a long enough day, it's been a very enjoyable day. As you say, it's part of our annual sort of heritage, our annual history, our annual shared experience, myself and Sally, and that's what we do. We come to Dublin a few times a year, but it started at Christmas time, and it started in a pub, and you know, the Oval pub there in Middle Abbey Street, and we just have a few drinks, spend the day in the pub, maybe spend the day in a few other pubs if we get around to it, and get the bus home. That's it. It's good, healthy, mentally healthy experience, and it's to be recommended quite frankly, especially if you're married for a long time. It's useful. But anyway, I'm not looking for the Heart of Saturday Night. So if you are, you may or may not find us in the quays here in Dublin. You may or may not, I would say. Hopefully that's not going to be your experience. There's the Heart of Saturday Night there now. If you're looking for romance, whatever sort of romance you're looking for, that's what you want. The ball is going off Saturday night in Dublin in December on some sort of a contraption like that.